Hello and welcome to an early edition of the Munce Report this week as trainer Chris Munce is joined by the comeback kid in Justin Huxtable as we catch up on all the latest news from the stable. Welcome to you both and good to have you back, Justin. It's been a big week for you. You're back into the swing of things at Doomben Trials this week and also riding track work.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. It's good to be back, getting my clearance back to work on Monday at the sports specialist and back straight into it Tuesday. Kicked off with riding a few track work and then skipped over the road to Doomben and sent around a couple of trials and everything went well and the body feels good. So exciting to be back.
Yeah, what was it like being back in the saddle? It's 5 weeks between runs for you. How were the trials? I guess they were a bit more testing for you than the track work gallops.
Yeah, in the scheme of things, most people might think 5 weeks isn't really that long of a time, but not sitting on a horse for that amount of time and not even really dealing with a horse for that amount of time is quite foreign when you get legged up on one very quickly. And for the first couple of horses, I was quite wobbly, and you do lose quite a bit of balance and whatnot without doing it repeatedly as we usually do going normal days. And so yeah, it took me a little bit to get my balance and my bearings back, but by the time we got over to the trials and the barriers opened, it was all common knowledge after that.
Very good. And Chris, how did you rate his form, mate? No doubt there was a bit of cheek there back at track work and at the trials.
Yeah, I don't know who was blowing harder, him or the horses when he come back in. So he's got to get a bit fitter before the weekend.
Speaking of, Justin, you've mentioned in a couple of interviews during the week that obviously you're taking a slow and steady approach, but you are kicking off back with your race riding this Saturday.
Yeah, like I said, being out for 5 weeks, it is quite a long time when you haven't ridden for that long. So, especially nursing the injuries, my body feels fine, and I'm pretty sure I've put all that behind me. But I still want to just take it slowly this week. And back at the races Saturday, I've just got the one ride for Garnet Taylor, and we'll see how that goes, and we'll get through that, and then we'll look to steam ahead in the coming weeks after Saturday.
Very good. And obviously you've got a bit of an aim in mind with Boom Nova, your girl heading towards the Aquis Duel. You want to get back aboard her and be at full fitness by March the 13th?
Yeah, that's for sure. Chris made it very aware to me that I had to be at full fitness come Duel Day if I wanted to ride her. So obviously that's an incentive going forward, but obviously trying to close off the rest of the season and aiming at the premiership for the rest of the year, as I probably just want to get my body into full fitness just to be at my best to achieve that goal and going forwards in the coming seasons.
Very good. And speaking of Boom Nova, Chris, what's the latest with her? Obviously that's her aim, which is a few weeks away. She's back in the stable and how's she progressing towards that aim?
Yeah, she looks really good. Put on a bit of weight, and she was only up for 2 weeks. Sort of had 10 days in the paddock and a couple of days on the water walker, but she's done really well. Hasn't done a lot of work just yet, but she will trial, I think, in 2 weeks' time. I think she'll have a trial and then she'll go into the duel off one trial. So, looking forward to getting her to the races.
Very good. All right, well, good to have you back, Justin. All the best with your rides on Saturday and we'll see you at the races soon.
No worries. Thank you very much, Adam.
Well, Chris, the news doesn't end there either. You've picked up another addition to the stable this week from the English Classics sale in a colt by the leading sire of 2-year-olds in Better Than Ready.
Yeah, Adam, well, he's a really nice colt. He's obviously a half to the 2-year-old we've got in our stable, Millwood, and I quite liked him. He was more of a, I suppose, speedy type than what the Almaha is, who obviously will take a little bit of time, but he trialled quite nicely the other day, Millwood. So, yeah, really nice to get him in the stable, and hopefully he can perform.
Yeah, he's of course at half to Millwood, who's just been named. He's the Almaha Hull City colt that we've talked about on the show previously, and he's now all ownership's locked in for him. He's named Millwood, named after the Roger Millwood, the champion Hull Kingston Rovers, Cronulla and Great Britain halfback in the 70s. So, and I believe he's got a stable named Roger too.
Well, it sort of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? It's quite a good stable name, and hopefully he can race as well as what his owner or his predecessor.
Yeah, very good. And speaking of Millwood, he trialled well on Tuesday, his first trial at the Doomben Trials. Are you happy with that?
I thought he went really well. I mean, he's a big horse, big colt, but he showed a lot of tenacity. He finished his trial off really well in finishing second. So yeah, it was an encouraging first day out.
Very good. Well, anyone seeking more information on the Better Than Ready colt or any of the other Magic Millions purchases can email admin@munceracing.com.au. All right, mate. Well, let's get into the preview. It's a little light on for weekend runners, hence the early show this week. We thought we'd preview a big contingent of runners that are heading to today's Doomben meeting. In the first race, you kick off with a bang with two runners there in More Than Value for Chris Lee's A-list stud, and Triptonic, who was very unlucky last start, or went close last start at Ipswich.
Yeah, well, they're two nice horses. More Than Value had no luck at all the other day. He drew poorly and was slow out and was wide and clipped heel. So you sort of got to put a line through his run completely the other day. Now, he's drawn better. He's drawn better today. So I thought his trials leading up to his first up run were very good. So he's a horse that wouldn't be surprised to see him improve today, particularly from a good draw, if he can jump cleanly and get the right sort of run. The other horse I think is going very well, Triptonic. He was quite unlucky the other day. He sort of had to make a long run around them, and he's probably the last 50 metres. He just died on his run a little bit, hence the reason back to 1200. It's sort of, I was in two minds with that because, I mean, he hasn't got a lot of speed, but he can't seem to sustain a long gallop either. So the fact that he drew well lent me to running him today, plus the fact I think we're going to get a soft track, which I think the More Than Ready seem to appreciate. So they're both by More Than Ready, actually, so they should handle the going quite well.
Yeah, of course, the soft 7, the tracks come up today, so interested to see how both those runners go. We then move over to race 4, where the Golden Bear lines up here in a Class 1 handicap over the 1350, which is a little shorter than what he's been contesting recently. What are your thoughts there and on his chances today from Barrier 1 with Matthew McGilvray to ride? Yeah,
well, today's D-Day for the Bear. I mean, he has to aim up and perform today. Otherwise, he won't be sort of, as a racehorse, he'll be finding a home to live in nice and comfortably for the rest of his life. But he's got blinkers today. That's the reason we're back to 1350. He handles a soft track. So he's very, very fit, backing up from last week. So I've got no reason to think that he can't run well. He's done well in the week since last week. Thought he had every chance, and he ran well. He didn't run poorly the other day, but I think he's had enough goes.
Fair enough. Well, good luck to the Bear today. Hopefully he's listening and he can keep on going with it. We then move over to race 7, which is a Class 2 handicap over the 1640 metres. Northern Woods, last start winner, who we spoke about on the show recently. New jockey aboard here. Ryan Wiggins unable to ride the weight, so Larry Cassidy aboard. And how's he come along since that nice win at Ipswich?
Yeah, really well. I mean, just ranked the form yesterday. The horse that he beat quite convincingly the other day come out and won yesterday at Ipswich, so it makes his form look quite well. It is a Class 2, which is a big jump, from a maiden to a Class 1, let alone to a Class 2. But I just think there's something about this horse. He's just something that since he's been in our stable, he's continued to thrive and improve. And I just like him as a horse. He's got the right attitude, the right temperament. And I think he'll handle the soft today as well. So, look, apart from the fact it's a Class 2, I would be going to the races extremely confident with this horse, and I still think he'll be in the finish and hard to beat.
Very good. And then the final runner on the program is the ultra consistent Royal Sheen, the grey in the wet today, benchmark 70 handicap over the 1350. What are your thoughts on his chances? Obviously, a similar race to that which he contested last week, where he gave a sight.
Yeah, well, he did, and I think the soft is certainly in his favours. He's raced well on the soft before, and look, he's another horse that's really thriving in the stable right at this point in time. So, small field now with only 7 runners, it'll probably be a little bit tactical, but I just think if he can get the right run in the race, where that is, I'll have to leave that up to Bobby. But wherever he travels comfortably, he'll be able to get out and finish his race off quite well.
Very good, mate. Well, that's the Doomben runners for today, Thursday, the February 18. The only other runner for the weekend looks like being Jabali Gold. Acceptances aren't out at the time of recording, but heading to Toowoomba on Saturday.
He'll go to Toowoomba, yeah. It's a nice race, 1,300 metres up there. His first up run was quite good, I thought, at Lismore, when he ran 4th behind a horse that just had probably too much on him. And he's improved nicely, so it looks a nice progressive race for him going forward. I think to the 1,300 will suit him down to the ground.
Very good, mate. Well, that's the wrap. All the best to Connections and yourself for today's racing and to Connections Jabali Gold over the weekend.
Good on you, Adam. Thanks, mate.